Good evening, everybody, and welcome to our very own Friends International Christmas Light Switch On. Usually this is a big evening in our events calendar, and usually we would all meet together on the high street in Guildford, surrounded by hundreds and thousands of other people, watching how Guildford is turning on the lights. There is usually a band there. There's usually some sort of program. The mayor speaks. We often have fireworks as well. So yeah, it's going to be slightly different this evening. And we're hoping really next year we can be back on Guildford's High Street. But for this evening, we have something else planned, something more COVID friendly and coming straight into your homes from our volunteers' homes. This evening, I'm joined by a lot of wonderful people. We have Sarah and Rob here and Rebecca getting ready there. Jenny is still trying to fix her camera. Scylla is here and Julian. And we are really excited to have everybody joining us today, this evening. And one of the special things that we're going to do this evening is actually to find out a little bit more how our volunteers celebrate and how they decorate, because Christmas decorations are a really big thing for us here in the UK and actually in parts of the in the Western world. For a lot of people who celebrate Christmas and a lot of cultures, this is a really big deal. And there's some really interesting things in terms of Christmas decoration. So we're going to find out a little bit more about what our volunteers are doing when they put up their decorations and what their important bits of decorations are as well. So I think what we're actually going to be doing is we're going to start with Sarah and Rob. And I'm going to unmute them so they can talk to us. Hello, Sarah and Rob. Lovely to see you all.
Hi. Well, our Christmas starts usually when we walk across the road to the farm shop, which is literally about 2 minutes. And Rob takes his tape measure. And we go through this process of looking at lots of trees from lots of different angles. And then we usually start by going back to the first one. And we've had a few disasters in the past where we've had to chop bits off the top and bottom. So that's why now we always take a tape measure. We usually put it in this corner here. We've moved it around, but this seems to be the place where it goes. We always start by putting the lights on. The decorations, we quite like collecting decorations. Sometimes if we go abroad, then we'll pick up some decorations. So there's a nice gingerbread man here that came from America. So that's quite special. I did some craft making last year. So I made a Christmas tree. So that's quite nice. And one of my favourites is one that a friend sent me, which I'm just looking for. Here it is. And this is made out of wood. And on the front of it, it says, "Oh, come, let us adore him." So it's just really nice to, on a Christmas tree, to bring back a little bit about what Christmas is all about with "Oh, come, let us adore him." So that's one of my favourite decorations.
That is so pretty. I love, especially, I mean, they are all wonderful, those decoration bits. But I love that you made that Christmas tree out of glass.
Yeah.
That is so special.
And another tradition is that the period before Christmas is called Advent. And I mean, a lot of people have chocolate Advent calendars. And when the kids were little, we did have that. But we have a candle. And every day we burn a little segment. And it's just a really nice reminder of the time coming up to Christmas when we remember that Jesus was born. And then another little tradition that we do is that we have a book called Christmas. And there's a little book for every day leading up to Christmas, which has a story, well, the Christmas story, basically. So today it was about the wise men. And there's another one about the Holy Land and Joseph. So I think we've had that for about 25 years, but it's lasted quite well.
This is so wonderful. I've never seen anything like that.
Yeah. And then we've got lots of candles around, and used to have lots of things that the kids made, but actually they got a bit fed up when they got to be teenagers of their preschool bits of tat being put on the tree. Moved out with popular opinion and got rid of those.
Yeah, I was wondering, one of the things that you shared is that the "Come Let Us Adore" bit, that wooden piece. What does that mean, and where does that come from?
Well, I know it's from a carol, a song that we sing leading up to Christmas. Is it Oh Come All Ye Faithful? So it's a sort of really well-loved carol that a lot of people sang probably at school as well. The chorus is, "Oh, come, let us adore him." So that's about us worshipping Jesus, really, and thanking God for the gift of Jesus, who is God, at Christmas.
Wonderful.
It's just nice to keep that in focus.
Yes. So when do you put your tree up? Do you decorate before December?
No, we usually probably wait till a couple of weeks. Rob was brought up to put the Christmas tree up on Christmas Eve.
Oh.
So when we got married, we had a bit of discussion about that because we always put ours up a week or two before Christmas. So we do actually do what my family does.
So when I was a child, I would go to bed on Christmas Eve and the house would be bare. And when I woke up on Christmas morning and came downstairs, the tree would be up, all the decorations would be up. I don't know what time my parents went to bed, if they did.
Yes.
It was great. It was a great surprise on Christmas morning.
But for me, the expectation. So I know Rob could say it was about expectation, but there's something really special, isn't there, about the period of time leading it. And it's quite dark and gloomy as well. So it's really nice to sort of have this focus of looking forward towards Christmas.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. That is so exciting. Just to let everybody know who's watching, if you have any specific question, if you see something in the pictures that you wonder what is that, then do put it in the comments, and we're going to find out, and we're going to go back to the volunteers and we're going to ask them. So this is really your chance. We also have with us Jenny.
Hi.
Hello, Jenny. Lovely to see you. Oh, there's still a crackling.
There's still crackling, isn't there? I think what I'm going to do is pick up my phone and bring it over this direction, because
that sounds like a wonderful idea.
The crackling, so
yes.
You can't see me, but I'm still here.
Wow, Jenny, this looks so lovely and cozy and warm and Christmassy.
Yes, so I am a big fan of Christmas decorations and lights and candles, and yeah, hopefully you can get a glimpse of some of the things. We've also got lights outside. I don't know if you can see. So maybe get a bit of reflection out there, and on the doorposts, and in the other room we have our another Christmas tree and more lights. So I'm a huge fan of Christmas, and actually this year, this tree here that you can see is new. Every year we do buy a real tree because I love the smell, but in addition, this year we've spoiled ourselves and bought an artificial one. So we've got 2 trees, which I'm very excited about. So yes, things that I love in terms of decorations. I've got this, I hope you can see, this is my snow globe, which is, as you can hear, plays a tune. If I wind it up properly, sorry, it's probably not very good on the camera, but can you see that now? That's it's
very lovely.
It's from Vienna, and we went to the Christmas markets there one year, and I found that, and I've loved it ever since. So that's one of my favorites. Another one, if I take you down here, are my candles, which spell out Noel, which again just points to the Christmas story and of Jesus being born, which is what we're celebrating. And then over here we have our Nativity Scene, which we've had for years and years, since our children were little. our eldest is now 24, so this has been around probably since he was about 2. And it's lovely, brightly painted wooden characters and really chunky, so it's great for little children to hold and play with, and they have been well played with over the years, as you can probably see. If you paint chips on the paint,
Yeah.
we don't mind that. We don't mind at all. So that's kind of a focal point in our lounge, because again, it's just pointing to the true meaning of Christmas, of Jesus' birth, and that's what we're celebrating. So yeah, so that's a couple of my favorite things. I could go on and on and on.
And one of the wonderful things that Jenny and others do, probably everyone you can see at some point, is actually they host students, usually over Christmas time as well. And obviously at the moment we can't do that.
Yes.
But usually at Christmas time we love to host students and have them over in our homes. And hopefully next year around Christmas time, you're going to get a chance as well to go to one of our volunteers' homes and see all those wonderful decorations in real life. Jenny, you've mentioned the Nativity Scene. Can you share a little bit more why that is so important at Christmas and what it has to do with Christmas?
Yeah, so Christmas is, for us as Christians, is celebrating the birth of Jesus, and the Nativity Scene explains that story, which you can find in the Bible, our holy book. And it's the scene. If I show you again, you see in the middle we have baby Jesus with Mary and Joseph, his parents, and they are depicted. Next to them, are the wise men and the shepherds. And the wise men and the shepherds have come to worship baby Jesus. And baby Jesus, to us as Christians, means Jesus, God, being born in this planet, born to human parents. As the story explains, he goes on to live on this earth, to grow up, and then to die for us all, to save us from our sins. So we are celebrating his birth, his coming to earth to be one of us.
Wonderful. Thank you so much. That looks lovely. I'm going to mute you because we hear a lot of crackling again. But with us also are Rex and Hugh. Hello. How are you guys?
Hi.
Thank you
Hello.
so much for joining us.
That's all right. Can you hear us all right?
We can hear you really well.
Lovely. Excellent.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
Welcome.
Hi everybody.
So tell us a little bit more about your decorations, what special things you have, and maybe the process that you go through. Oh, hey, Toby. Welcome as well. Thank you so much for joining us, Toby.
Yes, we have a noisy dog, so excuse us for that, won't you? Yeah. So the decorations, well, first of all, we have our Christmas tree here. And traditionally, what we normally do with our Christmas tree is we go to a place called the Devil's Punch Bowl. Strange name, but we go there with some friends and we go and chop down our own Christmas tree. And that's a really lovely tradition that we've had for a few years now. So we go with a friend, and Hugh normally takes Josie and my friend's son into the depths to find a tree. And then what happens is Annie, my friend, and myself, we go and have a hot chocolate while they're working hard. And they come back with 2 Christmas trees, and we pay a donation to the National Trust. And then we go home with a couple of Christmas trees, which is lovely. This year they're not doing it because of the situation. So we had to go and buy a Christmas tree this year. So this is the one. If you're wondering how much a Christmas tree costs, we found it a bit of a shocker because we haven't bought one at full price for a while. But this is a 5-foot Christmas tree, 5 feet tall, and it costs £40. But this one is a non-drop Christmas tree, and that's good because the traditional Christmas trees smell absolutely beautiful, This one smells nice, but the traditional ones smell better. But you get the little bits from the tree drop, and you get all the needles all over the floor. And we've got a dog, as you've probably recognised. I was about to try and pick him up though, he didn't want it. And we just thought we don't want sharp needles all over the place. So we've got rid of that now. There's one particular new decoration. We probably buy about one new decoration each year. So when we picked up our Christmas tree, we were able to get, Josie chose this one. This is a little Christmas jumper. I would like to tell you that I knitted that. I would be lying if I did. But you can also see hanging from the tree, there are various images. There's a little image here of Mary, the mother of Jesus. And over here, we've got one of the wise men who gave Jesus gifts. So that's our tree. And if I just move over here a little bit, I got a favourite of mine here is this little decoration. It's made from a piece of wood. If I do that, you can see that it's very, very thin, probably. And it's cut through it. I don't know how well you can see it, but there's a couple of little trees, and then inside there's an image of Mary and Joseph. The candle is behind it, trying to light it up. And that was given to me by a very good friend of mine called Susan. You know who you are, Susan. And I'm so grateful for that, because I like to have that up every year. And then down here, oh, this is one of Josie's decorations. I really like this. This is where you just maybe get this top one is, we just got a jug and she put some pine cones in it, and then this little decoration next to it. I think that's quite cute. And then over here we've got a little nativity scene as well, but I've got a little frame here that we have up when we are, you probably can't read that terribly well, but this little frame sits somewhere in our living room, and it's a message from the Bible. It's something that Jesus said, and he said, watch out, be on your guard against wanting to have more and more things. Life is not made of how much a person has. And you know what? We love giving presents at Christmas time, but we want to remember that life is not made up of how much a person has. So we have that up to remind us that the presents are not the main thing. In fact, for us, Jesus, who was born to be the saviour of the world, is the main thing for us. Yeah.
Well, so lovely. Thank you so much for sharing that.
Yeah,
Hugh.
it's, I think one of the things that I love about Christmas is that it's already happened. So we're not making anything happen by celebrating Christmas. We are looking back to something wonderful that happened when God decided to come into the world as a human being, into the messy, darkened world, and bring light into it. And that's why there's so many decorations that have lights. So the Christmas tree has the lights, and then we have the candles around as well. And I just want to read this little verse from the Bible, which points to this as well. It says, life was in him, and that life, talking about Jesus, life was in him, and that life was the light for all people. The light shines in the darkness, but the darkness has not overcome the light. And I think if ever there's a year when that message needs to go out loud and clear, with what we've been facing this year, it's now, isn't it? Amazing that God's light comes even in the middle of this kind of mess that we're in, to bring hope and joy and the prospect of a renewal in our relationship with our Creator, with God.
Thank you so much for sharing that. That is such a good reminder and so encouraging. Hey, Toby, lovely to see you again as well. Right. Thank you so much for joining us, Hugh and Rebecca, and thank you so much for all the camera work there, Josie. Good job. We are also here with Julian. Hello, Julian.
Hi.
How are you?
Yeah, I'm fine, thanks. Yeah, hi. And
Tell us a little bit more. Yeah, tell us a little
we're
bit more
here in
about
my,
your tree.
sorry, I can't hear you, Lily.
Oh, still not?
No,
Hmm.
it's just that I was talking at the same time as you were talking, so I couldn't hear you.
All right. Okay. Julianne, tell us a little bit more about your tree.
Yeah, so I was just going to say, my tree is not a real Christmas tree. It says made in China on my Christmas tree. Okay, so it's a plastic Christmas tree, but it looks very realistic. And yeah, I bring it out each year. It's come out especially early this year because usually I don't get around to getting it out and putting it up until Christmas Eve.
All
Uh,
right.
yeah, but then I don't get around to taking it down until usually well into February. So it does have quite a good outing when it comes out. On my Christmas tree, I have various decorations, a variety of different things. I've got some baubles. Hopefully you can see this. Yeah. So some baubles, which are just balls and things like that in different colors. I also have, let's have a look here. I've got 3 robins. Okay. So robins are a bird which we often see in the winter. And they've got a nice red breast, so it looks quite cheery, don't you think? And so I've got 3 robins on my Christmas tree. Also have right at the top of the Christmas tree here, I've got a little. Hope you can see that. It's still in the picture? Maybe not.
Not really, no.
Okay. I'll see whether I can just bring the camera closer and you can
Yes.
see me.
Oh, that's perfect. Yes. Wonderful.
Right. So right on the top of the Christmas tree, I've got a little doll here, which is an angel holding a star. And that reminds me that when Jesus was born, some shepherds who were in the fields in Bethlehem nearby saw an angel. An angel came to them and told them that a savior had been born, someone who would save us from our sins, from the consequences of our wrongdoing. So that reminds me of that. Also, down around the bottom of the tree here, I've got some holly.
Oh, yeah.
And I work in a school which has very extensive grounds, and in the grounds there are all kinds of plants, and one of the plants is holly. So it has little red berries on the female of the tree. So I was able to go out this afternoon and snip some bits and bring them home to put around the base of my Christmas tree here. Yeah. Some people say that those red berries on the holly remind us that Jesus died. His blood was spilt when he died on the cross, and so I suppose that helps us to remember that the purpose of God coming as a human being was in order to die for us, to take the penalty that we deserve for the wrongdoing that we've done, so we can be forgiven and reconciled back to God again.
I never knew that is the symbolism of holly. I mean, we don't have holly in Germany, but actually, if anyone who's watching, if you go for a walk here in the countryside, you would see a lot of holly bushes around, or trees.
Yeah.
Does it count as tree or bush or whatever? But if you keep your eyes open, you find them all over. So yeah.
Yeah, and the trees have 2 types. There's a male tree and a female tree, and only the female tree has the berries.
Interesting.
Hmm.
I need to highlight your Christmas jumper as well, because that is a pretty awesome Christmas jumper.
Homemade. I just made some little Christmas trees and stuck them onto my red jumper. Christmas jumper. Yeah.
I mean, that is very clever.
Yeah. Well, we're missing the Christmas light switch on this year, which is a big thing. So I thought I would do my Christmas light switch on now.
Yes.
I've got lights on my Christmas tree, so I'm going to do that now for you.
Yes. Oh, please. Oh, wonderful.
Yeah.
Let's zoom in on that. It is so colourful and lovely.
Yeah. So
Wonderful.
that's my Christmas tree. Back to you, Lily.
thank you so much for joining us and for sharing that with us. I've learned something new. That is so interesting. I never knew that about Polly. Thank you so much for joining us, Julian. We also have Silla with us. Silla, you're going to need to unmute yourself there.
Hello, everyone.
Hello. Thank you so much for joining us. We have a special treat here. Because, Silla, why do we have pictures?
Yes. Well,
Can you explain a little bit more?
Yes. I'm sorry that I haven't got a real Christmas tree up and ready to show you, because in our household, we don't put our Christmas tree up until the 21st of December at the moment. My daughter was born on December the 20th, and she doesn't like thinking of Christmas and birthdays muddled up together. So we celebrate her birthday on the 20th, and we put her cards up on the mantelpiece in our living room. And then on the 21st, they all come down, the Christmas tree goes up, and we prepare for Christmas. So on the right of the picture, you'll see our Christmas tree from last year, which is very similar to the Christmas trees that everybody else has shown you. We tend to put our Christmas presents underneath the Christmas tree. So you'll see in the picture, just about, presents all stacked under the Christmas tree. And then traditionally, when it comes to the afternoon after we've had our Christmas meal, which I'll tell you about in a minute, we then unwrap or give each other the gifts that we've wrapped and put under the Christmas tree. So I'm sorry not to be able to show you a real live Christmas tree. We tend to get a real one. We've got a coloured electronic one that we put in one room, but in our main living area, we have a living Christmas tree that we decorate like everybody else. Shown you. So that's, yes. So on the other picture, you'll see a dining table all laid for a meal. And like many households in England and around the UK, we have our Christmas dinner sort of round about 2 o'clock in the afternoon. And we have all the traditional trimmings, starting often with smoked salmon, and then having our Christmas turkey with all the extra vegetables, roast potatoes and so on, and then finishing with a Christmas pudding. But we like to set the table as attractively as possible. We put candles down the middle. I often do a flower arrangement with a candle in it for the center of the table. We have special napkins, which are sort of Christmassy napkins, and just really sort of push the boat out, as they say in England, or we really go to extra trouble, make it special. So that's just a picture of our table last year, ready to invite friends as well as family. And we have in the past often had international students share our Christmas meal with us as well. But sadly, we can't do that this year.
No, definitely not. It is such a shame. And hopefully anyone who's watching who's still around next year is going to have the opportunity to go into volunteers' homes and see all those beautiful decorations in real life, because I think it is such a special time. And everyone around here gets so excited about getting their Christmas decorations out and making it all nice and cozy and Christmassy. Silla, how long do you keep your tree up and the decorations out then?
Well, we usually take it down about the 6th of January, so it's not up for very long.
No.
The Christmas decorations come down on the 6th of January.
Yes.
So yeah, just enough time for the Christmas period, really.
I've just shared a picture, well,
Yeah.
2 pictures of actually some of my decoration I have at home.
Right.
Upstairs, I couldn't do it live either because I have a little toddler running around who is not very good with live events. But he was very excited when we got the Christmas tree out, and I think he was even more excited than he would be for Christmas Day because there were all those special decorations. He couldn't really remember that he had seen them before, so he got very excited, and he loves. We have a nativity scene as well, but Nathan, my son, loves to play with the donkey and the 2 sheep. He threw the donkey at my forehead last year as well, which left a really bad mark.
Oh.
Right.
Lovely.
Thank you so much for joining. I'm going to remove this and I'm going to bring everybody who's still here back. It's those 2. This is a great opportunity for anyone who's watching to ask any questions. If you have questions and you would rather ask us those in person, we are around for walks. We are here to connect with you, especially Sarah and Rob. They're going to take you, and Julian is maybe going to join as well. I don't know. But we have a walk coming up on the 22nd. We're going to go up the mount. So that is opposite the Cathedral Hill. And we're going to go beyond the mount. So this is coming up, and this is an opportunity to actually meet people face to face, which I think is brilliant. We also have a few other things coming up. We have another quiz actually done by Rob and Sarah as well. So if you fancy joining in with an international Christmas quiz, do join us next Friday. This is going to be on Zoom. And then next Saturday, it's all happening. I mean, it's Christmas time. And next Saturday, we have another Zoom meeting where we're going to see a little bit more and find out a little bit more about the Christmas story. But we're also going to hear some Christmas music. We're gonna make some Christmas cards together, so if you sign up for that, we're gonna deliver a little package to you. And yeah, there's so many ways of getting involved. You just need to head to our social media for Friends International or the app, and then you can sign up for all those different things. Thank you so much, everybody, for joining us. Are there any last words that you would like to share?
No.
I think that's fair to say. Merry Christmas to everybody. Thank you so much for taking the time and joining us, not just the volunteers, but you who were watching. And we hope to see you soon. Good evening and Merry Christmas, everybody.
Thank you.